Hello. What we're going to do in this tutorial is something a little bit more advanced. We're going to do something where we take one box and then we make a hole in that box and have another longer box tunneling through. So I'm going to do my work below the horizon line. So this time I'm going to do the horizon line a bit higher up on the page. Remember, it's always good to have those vanishing points nice and far away from each other. And so I'm going to build a box in the middle of the page that is sort of a flat, long face and a narrow face. From the main perpendicular, just like you've gotten used to now, building this box. So I'm going to have the box fairly narrow on this side. Let's see, something like that. But on this side, it's going to be quite wide. There we go. Finish the top off the box. Erase the extraneous lines. There we have it. So we have a box that's narrow and it's got a larger face, and we're going to put a hole, so this is almost like a donut hole, through the middle of this side of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my donut hole first, like we did for a window face. It's kind of a combination of creating a window and taking a notch out of the box, kind of a mixture of those two former tutorials that you've already completed. Alright, so what I need to figure out is if this window or space is going through the other side of the box, we might be able to see a bit of empty space on this side of the box. Alright, so what we need to do in that case is we're going to use the line at the bottom of the window and the line at the top of the window and kind of carry it around to the other side in order to figure out where that space, that tunnel, ends up on the other side of the box, because we do have a narrow box. So I'm going to draw a lighter line on the other going down. So I've kind of made a mini box, kind of like stacked Lego down here. Okay, and then I'm going to continue it on the other side of the main perpendicular to the back edge of the box there. And, oops, I'll shift my ruler there. Just like that. So now what I've determined is the height of the bottom of that tunnel as we go back in space. I'm going to make the bottom of this first box a glass box. Just to give me a sense of where I'm working. And so then from here, from this corner, I'm going to go back to vanishing point number 2. Actually didn't really need to do that step. I'll erase that. Back to vanishing point number 2 and stop where that box hits the other side. Alright? So it's like taking a notch out of the box, but planning and understanding where it goes through. And then I can erase all those extra guidelines. just like so. Okay, so now this is very much like the notch with taken out of a box, but we've just figured out exactly how deep the box is in order to figure out where the empty space would be on that side. So this could be a technique on its own that you could use for your main final artwork. Now, I'm going to do one additional step, which will be to create a long tunnel that goes in between this space, so it'll look like it's jutting out from the inside. So what I'm going to do is, instead of starting with the main perpendicular, I'm actually going to start with a line projecting out this way and back in space this way. Alright, and then I'm going to project another line this way and this way. So I'm actually starting with the horizontal going back in space so that I know it fits inside that tunnel. If I started with my main perpendicular that you would normally know, like you'd normally do on a box, you wouldn't necessarily be able to know that it fits inside this tunnel. So by starting with a side instead, I can guarantee that it's going to fit inside the tunnel there. And at that point, I can add my main perpendicular at this point. All right. Next, I'm going to do the top edge and jut it out. Again, kind of backwards in terms of order, but that way I know that it fits inside the tunnel in terms of the space there. And then once I have that space, then I'm going over to vanishing point number 1. Just like so. And so now the box is tunneling through, and I'm just going to fix this long box in and close it off on the back edge, just like so. Alright, so now I can erase the extraneous lines on the front and the back of the box. Now this box here could be a glass box. Alright, that can look quite cool. I'll quickly show you that. So I'm going to do the back edge. So it's almost like a glass walkway going back in space. It's not like my perspective isn't quite perfect there. Let me just fix that up. Like so. The advantage of this is you can still get to see the cool tunnel that you created in the first place. Alright, so that's one option. You've got this glass tunnel going through. The other option, if you want to make them 2 opaque boxes, you can erase this space, and then you're going to erase this extra information that we created here for the tunnel. Just like so. So now you can see you lose that information on the depth of the tunnel that we started out with in this scenario. But wow, you have like a really 3-dimensional box tunneling out through the box. So there you have it. Give that a shot. You can try it on the horizon line. You can try a different version above the horizon line, or have a tunnel going down like a tower tunneling vertically. Give it a shot.